Villagers. Potentially one of the most valuable resources in all of Minecraft. They can provide armor, tools, and food very early in the game, especially if you treat them right. Even though it's only the second episode, it's time we give our villagers a happy place to live long, fruitful lives where they can serve my every whim for the rest of the series. Hello everyone, my name is BJ and welcome back to the Tree Hugger edition of Hardcore Minecraft. First things first, let's take a peek and see how the iron farm is producing now that we're about 60 days or so into the world. For a long time, we did not have the best rates because we had these iron golems popping up like New York street pigeons all around the villagers and messing up our spawn rates. But I'm going to show you how I solved that problem by building the villagers a nice new short-term home. All right, let's see how much we have here. Oh, nice. We have more than 23 stacks of iron ready to be turned into axes and anvils and hoppers, but it isn't nearly enough. I'm going to need a lot more for the plans that I have, but before I start on the temporary villager safety hall, I had to gather a bunch of materials, primarily oak wood and cobble that I could smelt into stone. And one of the nice things about oak is that you can plant them side by side to get this dense grove of trees, making them easy to cut down. The problem is, though, that I also ended up with far fewer leaves and thus less saplings that were dropping. And in this case, I only got maybe a little over half of my saplings back. But I planted a second grove with 2 spots in between each tree, and it made a huge difference in the number of saplings I need to replant when I need more wood. After collecting several stacks of wood, I need to fill in this little lake where I've decided I'm going to build the safety hall for the villagers. Once again, we have a pigeon golem in the way. That's right, he'll get turned into ingots in just a minute. Oh look, surprise, another random iron golem. How about a little push into the farm, my friend? So what do you think of this new stone and cobble generator I built during my live stream earlier this week? I like this particular style because it's 5 blocks long and it will grow with me as I get better pickaxes and eventually a beacon that'll give me haste too, but it also works pretty well for right now. As a quick aside, if you enjoy watching live streams, please consider subscribing to me here on YouTube and follow me over on Twitch. Links down in the description below. I'll be streaming from this world several times a month, hopefully 2 times a week or so, and I would love to see you there. All right, let's get started on the safety hall. All right, that is a pretty good start to our safety hall for our villagers. Now we just need to swap out the floor here. And I've only got a handful of different blocks that I've already gathered together. So we've got a pretty limited palette, but I think we're going to be using basically stone, cobble, stone, gravel, cobble. That's about all we've got. So we're just going to replace this really quick so our villagers have a nice little hard floor to stand on. All right, that'll do it well. We need to leave this corner a little bit open right here. We're going to pull up these blocks so that we can bring the villagers up from the new breeder that'll be going over here. Next episode, we have our little tunnel that's coming under the river. But before we do that, let's take a couple of these gates here. We need to block in all the entrances to this building so that we can get all of our villagers in here and get started on the breeder. If I use stairs to build this roof, it's going to be so much taller than the rest of the buildings in town. So I think I want to try doing this with slabs and make it just kind of a really shallow pitched roof. We'll start with slabs on this end and kind of build our way up and see how it looks. To create this shallow roof, we're just going to step in one here and then up one slab. And we'll do the same thing again. And we'll do this, there we go, 3 or 4 more times until we get up to the peak of the roof, which if I calculated it correctly, it should be a 2x2 roof in the center. And then we can tie in the corners. So we got 1 right there, then 2, 3, 4. Take a couple of these blocks out to clean this up, and then tie the rest of the corners in. And now for the last corner, let's see, 1, 2, 3, and that ties it in. We should be ready to do the peaks now. Right, for these peaks, we're going to take these 2 blocks and we're going to bring them out quite a ways, probably past the face of the building, At least out to here anyway. We'll go right there. Maybe one more. 1, 2. Yeah, I like that. And oh, come on. I swear I can place blocks. I've been playing this game for a while. I can certainly take it out with an axe before I put it back again. All right, let's see. One more, I think. 1, 2. That should be far enough out. And now we need to bring out the sides as well. Bring these out to right. Oh, come on. I'm good at axe. I'm the axe man. All right, one more. There we go. And then I blocked myself. Hello, sir. I blocked myself for finishing that side. Let's go over here. We'll do this side. Bring these two out. Just one more. And then these two out to match. 2. And I think we'll bring this out one more so that it's only, yeah, one back behind that. All right, I really like the way that this roof is turning out. It's just the right pitch, and it doesn't overwhelm the rest of the buildings in the village. So I think it fits in really, really well for considering how much bigger it is. Just got these last little few here. And there we go. Perfect. There we go. I think that about does it for right now. We extended the logs up, added a little bit of detail on the inside, some lights, and I think we're pretty much ready to go to move the villagers out of here and into here. The nice thing about taking up these beds is that besides being able to move them into this other building, and they're going to be willing to go in there, is that no more of our pigeon iron columns are going to be spawning because once we get them all inside, I'm going to take up the beds and we don't have to worry about it anymore. So let's go ahead and set a couple of beds in here and just see if we can get them enticed into here. We might have to wait until nighttime for it to actually work. We'll have to see. But if we can get them all in here, then we can start laying down a couple of workstations we have for them. I have some blast furnaces, which is for armorers, I believe, if I recall right. A smithing table, or maybe, yeah, smithing table, I think, is, I don't know, stonecutter is mason. Smithing table is tools, I believe, toolsmith, an armorer, and then we have a farmer. I'm ready to do lecterns, but I don't have any books, so I can't actually make lecterns. I would love to start trying to get a mending villager, but I don't really need that just yet. Actually, now that I think about it, if I put down the workstations now, that will get them all inside and they can close this up and take care of the iron golem to get the beds out of the way. So let's go ahead and do that. And there we go. I think everybody has already got a profession. This works out pretty well. You guys get to work. All right, we don't have tons of tradable items, but hopefully we have enough to at least just lock these guys and all we need to do. So I do have enough there, and really all I need is one. Now he is a farmer permanently. Let's see, we can do this with potatoes, and now he is a farmer permanently. Nice. Now I'm going to pull these guys up. We don't need to worry about them resetting their trades anytime soon. You know what, actually we'll go ahead and leave those there. And then that way they both have a workstation to be at, and we'll be good to go. Now there's only, we had another golem I don't think I saw a little bit earlier, so let's go ahead and take care of this guy, but we'll do that in the morning. Before we get started on the veggie plot renovation, I want to put a composter down here, and this is a really good spot for it because we can put the poppies from the iron farm, of course, and then we can put all of our seeds that I'm going to pull up when I go work on the plots. And I don't have an axe. I didn't really need an axe. I need to go grab some wood to make these hoppers and a composter, and let's grab the other hopper right here and set it on top. And I really could use this bone meal. I have a lot of plans that will make that bone meal a little bit more useful, and so this is a good spot for it. Eventually we can go ahead and tie it into an automatic sorter from here as well. Do I need a slab up there? I probably don't need a slab, but I'm gonna go ahead and put one here so I can see it from the top if I ever break that. And then of course we can put a chest here and open it up. And there we go, we're ready to give it a test. Let's just grab a few poppies here. We don't need to put a bunch in there and make sure it's working first. All right, we got the little green dudes coming up there, and there we go. Bone meal, sweet. Let's go ahead and grab the rest of the poppies out of here and get these started in here. Bone meal, yes. Now that we have a safe place for the villagers, I need to rework these veggie plots a little bit so I can diversify my diet as well as build up a little bit of stock for trading and for breeding. Ooh, let's backfill this in with just a little bit of a dirt here. Do I need to fill all these in? No, I'll leave one, I think, and fill the rest in. Oh, what's going on there, buddy? What am I going to do? Can I get you? Oh, well, thanks for the ink, I guess. I'm feeling a little guilty. I don't know if I should keep that ink or not. You know, if I don't, then it goes to waste, but I don't know. All right, I think I made a decision. I'm going to keep that ink and I'm going to put it to good use. I think that would make the squid feel better. I think it would make me feel better. And I think, oh, I can place blocks, tear it up, try it again. I'm good at the game. Besides just increasing the size of these plots, I want to try and make them fit into the village kind of aesthetically and test out a few block palettes for the rest of the village as we start to add other buildings. Speaking of, let's chat really quickly about the plans for this area and for the buildings over the next 10 to 15 or so episodes, assuming I survive anyway. So the safety hall, it's a temporary place for all the villagers, but eventually it's going to be just the farmer's hall. We'll definitely spruce it up with a lot of blocks with that theme in mind once we have the other halls at least started. But for now, I'm planning on building a smithing hall over the Iron Golem farm, which will include an iron elevator to storage by the toolsmiths and the weaponsmiths so that I can trade them iron for golden carrots, which will hopefully be my main food source for the rest of this season. I'll also have a library for the librarians, surprise, a Masonic lodge for the masons, which I think would be a fun build. And then lastly, we're planning on having an armory for the armorers rather than lumping them together with the other smiths. And I think that's because that's where I want to build a mega furnace for smelting. Yep, the addition of stone to this palette fits in really well with this village. There's already a lot of light colors and cobble and things like that, so this will fit in pretty well, I think. Now to add a few accents, we'll just take out some of these corners and then replace it with some stone brick, things like that. Maybe a couple of other accents with some slabs like down here. And how about a fence up there? That'll work. Another slab. All right, now we'll do one more corner here. Take these guys out and then replace that with stone brick. And how about a stair this time? That looks good. And then how about a wall on top of that? It's about time to harvest some of these veggies. I'm getting a little tired of the gluten. Anyway, we've talked about the villagers that are going to stay here in this town, and I do have some ideas for other villagers like clerics and fishermen. You know, it could be a wizard tower or a fishing village or something like that, but that's ultimately going to depend on where I build my main base, because this is really meant to just be a temporary start to the series here. I'm planning like maybe 10 or so episodes here, or about the first 100 hours of the world, and then after that, we're going to be expanding elsewhere on the map and start some much larger builds. So over the next few episodes, I need to expand my food supply a bit to get the villager breeder up and running and add a few major farms for future builds. I have a sky mob farm, a slime farm, and a sand duplicator coming soon, which means I need to get into the nether and into the end and defeat the dragon relatively soon. But I think that is going to do it for today's episode. So I hope you don't mind a slightly shorter episode, but I'm going to try these kind of shorter, faster paced episodes more frequently for a bit and see how they perform on the channel. Let me know what you think down in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing to be notified of future videos. I really appreciate it, and you all have a great day. Bye-bye.